rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start. Physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to the Silverback Blueprint. Acknowledge the pain, but carry on in your quest. Before we get started, I was telling Luke a story about my daughter. She's going to love this, but she doesn't listen to the podcast anyway. She's 15. And I was saying she just came home from school just before we started podcasting. And I said, hey, Luke, check this out. Luke and I like to share a good laugh. And if it's at somebody else's expense, it's even better. And my daughter can't wink. And ever since she's little, she's tried. And she can't. You know, she squeezes her face and stuff, and it's hilarious. So when she actually gets close to a wink, it actually looks like she's crazy. She's winking, she got a big smile, and you don't know if she's going to attack you or what. You don't know what's going on. So I got her to go downstairs and get one of my favorite family photos, the four of us. And sure enough, you know, it's me, my daughter, my son, and my wife. And we all got her smile going, and Annie's got a beautiful smile, but she's trying to get that wink in. She looks like a psycho. It's my favorite photo of her of all time. I love it altogether. So that was a little bit of shits and giggles before we started recording today. So back to what we were talking about, acknowledging the pain, but carrying on in your quest. You know, a lot of the things that we're talking about, the podcasts, the videos, I'm working to inspire others. I'm working to inspire myself by inspiring others. I'm working to motivate. I'm working to help people improve the situation. Guys over 40, take control, get healthier, get better, be happy. And that's great. We focus on the positive. We preach mindset, and we talk about controlling your mindset and keep it positive and protect it, right? Don't let things in. Don't think about things that move you away from your goal. Don't think about things that are pointless and are a waste of energy and are negative. We want to see the positive. We want to be happy. These are all great things, but I think one of the false pretenses that arises, once we feel we're, going to get to the point where we feel that we have self-control. We're striving. I want better self-control. I want to control my emotions. I want to be logical when it's time to be logical. I want to be focused on what I'm trying to achieve. Right? I want to have purpose in life, and I want to move towards it each and every single day with everything I do. And those are wonderful things. But one of the things that I think gets lost is that we get caught up in this pretense where if, we're living in our quiet calm and, we're making things happen and stuff like that, is that there's never going to be any sadness. We think that once we get to this point, we have this wonderful state of, positive consciousness and we're the master of ourselves and stuff. We're never going to run into difficulties. We're never going to run into shitstorms. And you know what? It's the furthest thing from the truth. And I really don't want people trying to do all this stuff with that false goal in their mind or that thing, hey, once I get there, nothing will ever bother me again. And that's not true. What's happening, though, and what's going to happen is life's going to continue to throw shit at us. The more we control ourselves, the more that we take better control of our lives and those things, the less frequent we're going to run into those things. We'll make better decisions. We won't get ourselves into as much trouble. Right? So we're going to limit how often things happen and to what level, hopefully. But there's still going to be times where life, the motherfucker that it is, it's going to throw shit at us. And sometimes stuff we never expected in a million years or stuff we never thought we'd have to deal with again. But our whole point in this journey, for me, is to understand that things are going to happen. And despite my best efforts, I'm going to run into some shit. But what we're trying to do with this skill set and working on our mindset and work on positivity and controlling the filters through which we see things is that when we run into this kind of thing, we deal with it better. We understand that, this is shitty, so let's look at some solutions. Let's work on controlling how I'm reacting to this. Let's work on seeing the situation and the issue for what it really is. Let's catch ourselves as we're starting to get angry or upset before we go too far. Let's realize, hey, I'm getting angry, I'm getting upset. Right? Sometimes you walk into a situation and the vibe is tense and the vibe is negative, and naturally you're going to amp up to that. Your survival instincts are going to say, hey, there's something going on here, so let's jack our shit up. And next thing you know, you're raising your voice, and that person's raising their voice, and then you're getting mad, and at one point you're like, what the fuck am I getting mad about? Or you know what you're getting mad about, and you feel yourself getting angrier. The point we're trying to do is to develop the skill set and the tools to recognize what's happening and to talk ourselves down. And to understand that even with all the cool stuff we know and how much we've gotten better dealing with these things, we're going to run into tough situations. And we need to understand and we need to grasp the concept that no matter what it is, we must get through to the other side. I don't want us to avoid conflict if it comes to us, if it's unavoidable. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I say, cut away, negative energy and negative people and stuff like that. What I'm trying to say is when we do that is we try to make it so that we don't surround ourselves with that, so that we're constantly surrounded by that. We're constantly having to deal with that. I don't want that. I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for you. But there's going to be times where you're sitting there, minding your own business in a restaurant or bar, and some drunk guy comes over and starts being a jerk with you, or your wife, or your girlfriend, or your kids, because he's having an episode. 10, 15, 20 years ago, I would have dealt with it much differently than what I deal with it now. But I'm still going to amp up. I'm still going to want to. The instinct is still going to be there to crush this fucker. But what I have to do is, because I'm trying to be better at it, is deal with it better. Disarm the situation. Try to see what's really going on. Now, don't get me wrong. If I try everything I can and I can't resolve it and it's still a situation like that, I'll fucking deal with it. But I don't want it to come to that. I want that to become the last resort instead of the first resort. Because I want to walk away from any situation now saying, hey, I handled that better than I would have done before. I diffused the situation that could have easily gone one other way. I'm not talking about taking shit. I'm not talking about backing down. But what I'm talking about is try to resolve it as an adult. So if we can do that, and we know that we can do that, then we have that confidence knowing that, hey, no matter what I'm dealing with right now, I know that if I work at it, I'm going to see the end of it. I'm going to see it through. And I'm going to get to the other side. And I want us to get to the other side. When we're knee deep in stuff, this is where we must realize the pain. We have to acknowledge the pain. We have to acknowledge the issue. We don't want to sit and run from it. We don't want to ignore it. We don't want to put our head in the sand. We don't want to sit there and hide on different things. We want to focus on the skills we're developing to get through it. Right? And as we do that, as we know we're about to go into a situation, we need to be able to brace ourselves. We need to steady ourselves. There's a really cool Latin phrase called sustine and abstine, and it's Latin for bear and forbear. Endure what we must, make the best of it, but don't quit till you're on the other side. And this is the stuff where we don't see on the Instagram and the Facebook memes, right? This is the heavy lifting. This is way beyond beast mode, Carpe Diem. Those are great. Those are great starting points. But we need to be able to see stuff through. We need to be able to deal with it. We need to have thick skin and broad shoulders. And what we need to understand is when we get to the other side, when we've dealt with it as best we can, then let's sit back and look at the situation and say, hey, is that something I could have avoided? Did I do something to cause that? Did I put myself in that situation? Was that the best way to do it? And if it's something that I did, if I made a stupid remark, or if I didn't pay attention to something I should have dealt with a long time ago, those are the things that we turn around and say, okay, let's improve on that, right? Those are the things that we want to turn around and say, you know what, I need to raise those standards like we talked about in the last episode. How I do one thing is how I should do everything, right? So if I come home and my wife's just fed up because I've left my, my track pants on the floor for the last 2 weeks when I come home and stuff like that, she's right to get pissed off. She's right to have enough. Why should she live with that around her? All I had to do is at the end of the night, because I sit down, I watch TV for half an hour, sometimes I get a little warm, I take my track pants off or my socks, right? I know what it is with guys. We just feel more comfortable sitting in our underwear. There's something wrong with us. And that's fine. But when I go to bed at night, just pick the fucking shit up and take it upstairs with me, right? So very avoidable, very fixable, right? So that's great that we can sit there and we can handle stressful situations, but that's when I say let's make it so we don't put ourselves unnecessarily into those kind of situations. Handle ourselves the best way possible, some way that we'd be proud, that if our kids watch us do it, they'd be like, whoa, that's a great way to do it, right? Sometimes we got to swallow some pride. Sometimes we have to understand that, listen, that person, that situation isn't necessarily my fault, but I have to deal with it. And if it is my fault, then I have to fix it so it doesn't happen again. But get to the other side. It's great to be beast mode. but then be in beast mode right to the end and finish it. Come around on the other side and then reevaluate. That's the stuff people don't talk about. That's the stuff that they don't prepare you for. That's the stuff that you kind of have to find out on your own. And that's what makes it so hard. That's what makes it hard to raise standards to a higher level, to become the better version of you, is that it's all on you. How you respond, how you deal with it. Right? And there's times where, you know what, you're just going to be in a tough situation. Someone you care about just passed away and it hurts everybody. You have to just deal with the pain. And you have to go through it. People quit too fucking soon. And we're all guilty of it. People quit too soon. Great book out there called 3 Feet from Gold. And it talks about that. How many times people were just on the brink of success, but they finally threw the towel in. And if they had just hung on one more day, one more week, one more month, if they had finished one more project, it was there. I used to tell my staff, never close early. Never close early because you never know who's coming in. They've had a crazy day. They're rushing and they're coming in to buy. Back in the day when we sold equipment, I sold more deals than I can think of at 5 to 9 because I stayed open till 9 and then stayed open afterwards to deal with it. Why? Because that person was shopping around and was going to 2 or 3 places and they were ready to buy and they came back to deal with us. So always taught my staff, don't close early. At the gym, don't close the lights early. Oh yeah, but there's only 10 minutes left. Who's going to do a 10-minute workout? No one. But what if someone comes in for a tour of the gym? Right? See it to the end. Do what you're supposed to do. Hold your standards and stick to them. And we have to do it ourselves as the leaders. If we're the leaders of our company, if we're the leaders of our family, if we're the leaders of our circle, then we have to walk the walk and talk the talk. Guys, that's all I have to talk about on that today. Head on over to iTunes or check at the end of this episode. Leave us a 5-star rating and an awesome review. If you're getting anything from this, as I said before, guys, this goes a long way. It helps us tremendously. Lets me know that we're on the right path, but also lets other people find us through iTunes and all that good stuff. And I really appreciate you guys listening to some of the babbling that I like to do. And thanks, guys. Work hard, motherfuckers, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast episode. If you haven't already got your new Work Hard Motherfucker t-shirt, head on over to hostilegear.com, save 20% using the discount code Silverback, and get that bad boy on your back. It looks good. It's slightly offensive. It's a great message. Don't wear it to church, but wear it to any family function. I'll talk to you guys later.